Welcome. Wait a moment or two for people to start filtering in. As always, to acknowledge being here consciously. We're always here. And now we're going to be here consciously together for a few sacred moments. We can always be together through consciousness. There's no separation in consciousness. That's the beauty of consciousness. Unconsciousness is always lonely and scattered and alienated. So today we're going to talk about the way. The way. Like there is the way. Yeah, there's the way. The way is the Tao is the way, translated as the way. This is not Taoist teaching by any means, but it's not Taoist teaching either. All teaching is the same. If it's true teaching, it's teaching of the heart, of the truth, of the light, of the love. So the Tao is a very useful, well, it's an ancient tradition, plenty of wisdom. And the Tao means the way, and the way is to follow and to be in tune with natural law. Now you see, when we talk about natural law, then the people that like to talk about God are not happy. If we talk about God, the people that like to talk about the natural way are not happy. So someone's not happy, which is really kind of sad, because we're all talking about the same things. And of course, at the heart, at the sincerity, at the genuine level, no one's upset by any of this. I can use the word God and the Taoist is fine. I can use the word the way and the Christian is fine. Or the Muslim. Or the Jew. Or the Hindu. The big ones, the big God religions. Buddhism, Taoism, no God, although they do have deities, and people do tend to worship Buddha as a god, but this is all just irrelevant. The way. The way is defined by adherence to, following, being in sync with, being in obedience to natural law. Natural law could just as well be called divine law, but we'll call it natural law for now. And if you prefer to, every time the words natural law are spoken, if you prefer to think of it as divine law, perfect. Divine law, natural law. The best example that I can think of is if you go, someone made a movie about a poor guy's in perfect shape and he goes to McDonald's every day. That's all he's allowed to eat for whatever certain amount of time. And after a very short time, his blood work is so bad, the doctors say, you have to stop. You can't continue for the full month or whatever he committed himself to. It's because if we're eating garbage food, we're not following natural law in the food realm, right? Food. Natural law being what the body needs. Natural law being also what the emotions need. Being also what the mind needs and what the soul needs. Natural law. So to find and follow the way is to discover natural law and to obey natural law. We could call this surrender to the Holy Spirit if we want to be Christian or Catholic about it, or we could call it obeying natural law if we want to be Taoist about it. It doesn't matter what words we use. What we're interested in doing is, why do we want to follow natural law? Well, if I eat fast food every day, I'm going to feel really bad. Just fast food every day. I'm going to feel awful. And so what we're trying to do is to feel good. To feel good, to be good, to emanate good. So in the simple realm of food, which is uncomplicated, relatively uncomplicated, if we eat clean, healthy, organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, if you need to eat a little bit of clean, organic, non-tortured meat, animals, whatever it is, this combination of food is honoring the natural law, which means how the body is built, how the body is created, what the body is meant to eat. Following these natural laws will give us physical health or make us much more likely to be physically healthy. So the way is obedience to natural law. The problem is that we don't know what natural law is because we're so artificially conditioned. We think that to be in constant competition, in constant fear, in constant comparison, in constant worry, in constant anxiety, we think that this is natural. We don't even know that we're in these conditions. When the anxiety lets up for a moment, we'll do meditation later and we'll experience an openness and a lack of anxiety and a lack of fear that will reveal to us what natural can be, what natural is, once we strip away the falseness that we think is natural. The way, the proper way. Now, the interesting thing about having a way, what I put up on Facebook was a beautiful path going through the woods that my friend took. He was riding his bike. He sent that to me. And it's both perfect and completely wrong. We love to have this path through the woods. And of course, nature is nature, right? But the way is, we're very accomplishment oriented. We want to accomplish, arrive, go, goals. We want to get somewhere and be somewhere. Get somewhere, move to the goal, achieve a goal, get to the place that we're not at now. That's why the path, right? And where does the path go? It goes, the way is to the goal. What is the goal? Nirvana, bliss, heaven, more concretely, just a life of joyful, peaceful stability, responsibility, peaceful, above circumstances, compassion, kindness, love, to be in these states, even when our circumstances may be different. This is the goal. This is the light, the love, the goal. But what's really, it's paradoxical. Paradox means two things that seem to be contrary are still synchronized, are still part of the same truth. And life in the duality that we live in is purely paradoxical. We're so strong and we're so delicate. Things like that. So the way is goal-oriented. We want to get to this state of peaceful, joyful, beautiful bliss and creative connection to everybody and everything. And yet here we are where we are now. And if we lose where we are now, we won't get anywhere. We'll just spin our wheels in a future that doesn't exist. Trying to get somewhere without acknowledging the truth of here and now is the opposite of futile. It's actually going to move us backwards. Then we'll be in the illusions of moving forward. The only place to start is here. They say the journey of 1,000,000 miles. You want to go from here, you want to swim from here to Australia. 1 stroke, 2 strokes. You want to walk to California from New York. 1 step. Where do you start? Here. When do you start? Now. What is the way? Here and now. We have the goal because we have direction. It's a tightrope. It's a balancing act between being motivated and drawn to this beautiful place, this goal, while being completely here and now. And here and now, we're not at that place. Although, as I've been talking about before, and as my friend pointed out to me, the light in the tunnel and the light at the end of the tunnel. So the way is both the light at the end of the tunnel, the goal, the place of pure light, joy, peace, bliss, no matter what's happening, that state of love and light. And it's also light in the tunnel, which is now where I am now, the I that's listening, the I that can feel this. Yes, you can feel that. That I is here and now. And is as much as it's moving and goal oriented, it is only in the journey, in the trip, in the experience of the here and now that we actually acknowledge what is, and the light that is in the tunnel, although we are with a lot of darkness. And the way is not a way of light. The way is a way through darkness with light increasing. And it's an acknowledgement. It's the honesty and the truth that we are here now. And here and now often involves a lot of darkness. And darkness is not bad. Darkness is simply the truth of where it is of the way and where we are on the way. So we're on the way and we are the way. What is it that we're, again, not to be with all these ideas. Simply, the way is the experience of living into and through the dark, into the light, through the darkness that we're in now, and with the light that we're experiencing, which will increase as we move down the path towards the goal, in the now and the here, in this paradoxical tightrope, this balance that we're living in when we're dedicated to the way. Why do we want and need this dedication? Well, it's because it's why we're here. We are here to be and bring light. Light is simply a word for the state of love, the state of compassion, the state of truth, the state of authenticity. Authenticity, not conflicted, like a child, like a dog. Authenticity, kindness, beauty, creativity, all of these things. That is why we are here, to be and bring this. Bring meaning, what does light do? You have a bright light. It shines into the darkness. And the world is dark. And the people around us are carrying darkness. The people inside of us are carrying darkness. To be and bring light. Why? Because we're here to be glorious. We're here to be glorious. Food, clothing, shelter, free time, security, and company. The necessities of life. That is survival. As social creatures, we need these 6 things. Once we have these 6 things, if we don't have them, they must be attained. And we must make sure that those around us have it, not just the people, but all the people. Not just the animals, all the animals. Not just the trees, all the plants, all the life. This is the primary survival. Compassion, non-narcissistic. Compassion, meaning empathetic, meaning we understand that we are actually in all of these creatures combined, as though this is separate, seemingly. What it is that makes me a magnificent creature is the connection with these things. The yoga. Yoga means connection. Yoga is the thing that they put on the oxes, the yoke. It's union. So the way, the light, we're here to be, after survival, we're here to be and bring light. Because that is human nature. Now, when the man lights the crack pipe, drinks the drink, looks for the casual, unhealthy relationship, the money, the fame, whatever these things are, that person is simply going in this direction looking for that thing. Still looking for the light. And they get that momentary relief, that momentary orgasm, that momentary high, that momentary relief, that momentary escape. And it feels like it's got that sense of light, that sense of spacious loss of this lonely, individuated self. But it's not. What it does is it leaves the person lower down. What that person's really looking for, and what you and I are looking for here, is light. As my son used to say when he was little, say, yite. looking for the yite. So we're looking for it because it's our nature as divine creatures, or as expansive universal creatures, however you want to describe it. Because we, you, want to be fulfilled. We want to be joyful. And all that list of things that we just went through, what we want is we want to feel at home. With a capital H. Home. Home. How often do we feel home? Home meaning at ease in our skin, at ease relative to those around us, at ease relative to our place. If we're not consciously on the way, unconsciously, all the things we want and we don't want and we're hoping for and we're afraid of, that's not home. Home is a place where one feels complete now, safe, at ease, without fear, in a state of open, spacious generosity. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean, because this is what you crave. It's why we have trouble sleeping, going to the bathroom, having good relationships, being genuine, honest, authentic, compassionate, loving. It's why we have these problems, because it's one way of looking at it. Remember, the reason that we're calling this the diamond heart is the diamond is cut into facets. On the top of it has all these faces, and each face reflects the light. And each face is a property, a divine property: honesty, home, love, beauty, creativity, all these faces. And as we go in, the diamond is carbon. We are carbon. We are carbon-based units. And through the fire and the pressure, the carbon becomes diamond, this beautiful refracting thing that holds and generates light. And that beauty, as we head in through any face, and the face we're talking about now is home, the heart of the diamond is home. And at home, all of the qualities that are seemingly separate on the faces that are reflecting all this light, they come closer and closer together. And in that warm, soft, gooey heart, it becomes one thing, and we feel at home, which is at ease. And we feel the state of love and the state of compassion and all those other beautiful, joyful, peaceful stability. We feel all that, and we are all that. Home. Home. Now, we don't feel at home very often. Most of the time, we might pretend quite often, but we don't really feel home. That true sense of just belonging, of non-fearful, stable place. This is my place. I am not separate, and yet I am separate. The paradox again, the separation of this and the non-separation of this consciousness, the oneness of the consciousness. I feel clear. I don't feel conflicted. I don't have moods that control me. I don't have worries or anxieties. I don't have traumas. I am home. I am at ease. The creativity flows naturally from me. I don't have to pretend. Home. So we're going to tell a little story about home. There's a place called, let's call it Here. Let's call a place called Here. A place called Here and Now. And in this place called Here and Now, in this world called Here and Now, everybody gets a piece of property. They're born with a piece of land. Everybody gets a piece of land. And we're going to just have this one guy in the world of Here and Now, and I'm going to call him John. John Smith lives in the land of Here and Now. And here's John Smith. He's got his piece of property, his piece of land, and everybody's got a piece of land. And everybody in the land of Here and Now doesn't have a home. They pretend they have homes. What John does is he has kind of like a tent, and he puts the tent up, and he paints the outside of the tent so it looks like it has columns and it looks really beautiful. It has banisters and has like, it looks really nice. And the landscaping, we're gonna we're gonna talk, forgive me. We're gonna talk about landscaping another day, because the landscaping is really, really, really just hilarious as well. It's another great story about how people are landscaping and pulling things up and not getting to the roots and planting things that aren't beautiful. But that's landscaping. For now, we're just talking about the home. And of course, the landscaping is where we get the food and it's part of the home. But we're talking about the structure, the home. And John has his home, which is sometimes it's a tent, and he paints it to look like a home. He paints, windows on it. He paints it. It looks really nice. And then comes a little wind, or a rainstorm, whatever it is. You know how the world is. The world's always with stress, right? Always with weather. Things always change. There's always stress. How do you know? Everybody that we run into, almost everybody, some people can't even do this. Some people can't even pretend to be okay. People can't pretend to be okay. But most of us, we can pretend that we're okay. We pretend we're home. So you walk into the store, you go to work, or you're on the subway or whatever it is, and everybody's acting like they're home, like they've got this. How do we know? What happens when we're with them for a period of time, live with this person in a house, any person, for 6 months, and you'll see who they really are. Subject them to stress, and you'll see who they are. A little traffic, they start whining. Ooh, traffic. Oh, I have to wait in a line. Then the truth comes out. We see who people really are when they're subjected to stress or over time. Who really are is two things. One is a soul, and that's just in silence. And in stillness, you can see that light that is that being. But I'm talking about the personal self, the thing that the home that this person's projecting and pretending. That's a fake thing that breaks down very easily under stress. So John, in the land of here, he has his piece of property, and he sleeps on this kind of like this. He's got like a box that he sleeps on, right? And sometimes he puts up a tent and he paints the tent like a house. And the weather comes and it blows his house down, right? The stress comes and his pretense is gone. Then someone comes by, and the thing is very important to everyone else in the land of here is doing this as well. They don't want anybody to see that they don't have a home. They want everybody else to think that they have a home. John wants everyone to see, I have a home. This is my home. Look, my home is nice. It's strong. I'm a strong man. So John, people come by and they have these prefabricated houses, right? Homes. And they sell them to John because John's desperate. So he'll give time or money or whatever it is that the person wants, and they'll put up these things for him. And John has this, and he decorates it. It looks really nice. Another storm and the thing collapses, or it breaks in here. It just becomes obvious that this is not a real home. Now, who is it that offers us homes in our lives? Who is it that comes to us and says, come, my brother, come, my sister, come, join my family, be at home here? Religions do that. Political organizations do that. Groups do that. Sports teams do that. Social media does that. All the media does that. All of these various entities come to us and say, come, brother, hear the word of this. Come, brother, join the movement of that. You will be home. That means someone else is going to give John a home. Someone comes by and they're going to sell him this prefabricated, already made home. Here's a home for you, John. All you need to do is give us money. All you need to do is give us time. All you need to do is give us attention. All you need to do is give us sex. Those are the big ones. People want your time, they want your attention, and they want your sex. That's what they want. And when they want these things, it's not bad to want time, money, to want money, attention, or sex. It's that people want these things at your expense. It's not the meeting of two equals. It is the manipulation of each person's trying to manipulate the other to get something. get more than they give. That's an insane thing. Anything that is of value increases when it's given. Anything that is of, after survival, of course, survival we have to share, survival, food we have to share. But anything that is of value, love, compassion, kindness, these things increase if they're genuine, if they're real. When they're given, they increase. That's the beauty of these things. So people that are trying to get more than they're giving, come, give us your money. Give us your attention. Give us your sex. So people are trying to sell John, and John falls for it every time. John is desperate. He's worried about what people are thinking. He's also subject to the elements. It's raining, he's wet. It's windy, he's cold. It's cold, he's cold. It's hot, he's hot. He has no shelter. He has no place. He has no home. So next to John, there's a house. Now, over time, John starts to see that this is a real house. There's a couple that lives in there. Alice and Peter. Alice and Peter live in this house, and they're an older couple. They live there. And Alice and Peter come by, and they talk to John on occasion. They say, John, would you like a little advice? And John's like, no, my house is good. And then the house blows down, or the house caves in, or whatever, the fake house that he's bought, or that he's, the tent that he's put up and made to look like a house, it all collapses. And then they come again and they, say, hey, John, And John starts to realize that Peter and Alice have a real house. They have a home. The weather comes, the storms come, and Peter and Alice are inside. They have a fire, they're playing guitars, they're singing, they're creating, they're crocheting, they're cooking. It smells good, it feels good, it tastes good, it sounds good. They're at peace. And when he meets these people, they're also radiating a different energy from all of the other people around him who are living in their fake homes, like John, which is how most people are living. So finally, John says, well, okay. And he listens. And Peter and Alice say, well, look, here's what you need to do. First, you see that box that you sleep on? Open that box. And John says, if I open the box, what will I sleep on? Well, the ground is the same as the box. It's all hard. But I've been sleeping on this my whole life. My parents slept there. My uncle slept there. My neighbor slept there. Everyone sleeps there. So Peter and Alice, they leave him alone for a while. More disasters for John. Finally, John says, okay. And he opens the box. And inside the box is tools. There's tools in the box. He's been sleeping, unconscious, on the tools. What tools are they? Well, there's shovels, and there's pitchforks, and there's all kinds of cool stuff in there. And Peter and Alice, they say, these are the tools. What you've been doing is you've been building flimsy non-houses, fake houses, to try to make a home without a foundation. You need a foundation. There will be weather. There will be craziness. And without a foundation, without a solidity in the earth, you're not going to have a home. You're going to have these things that just blow over and that don't hold the rain out and that don't hold the cold. You're not going to have a home. You won't be at peace and stability. You won't have what it is you crave. What you see that we have, you can have it. We built this home. Now, interestingly, Peter and Alice, maybe we'll get there. I don't want to forget that, though. Peter and Alice built their own homes. Peter built his house by himself, and Alice built her house by herself before they came together and built their house together, which is next to John's. We're going to get there. So John says, yeah, it's a lot of work, and, I don't know, I don't have any money to buy supplies, build these beautiful walls that you guys have and everything. And just Peter and Alice just the couple just dig the foundation, dig a square. Now, what is a square? What is a square? What is a foundation? A foundation is, think about when a sculptor is sculpting. They say the sculpture is in the stone. You just have to take away what's not the sculpture. Well, what is a foundation? A foundation is a hole. The hole is there. It's just filled with dirt right now. That's all it is. The hole is there. It's just filled with dirt. Okay, so John tries, the lazy way, he tries to build his house with no foundation. He keeps trying to build these things and it's not working. He's buying false things from other people. He's joining groups like we do, trying to get someone else to do it for us. Take the easy way, spend the money, get that to do it for us. It's not happening. So finally, he's got these tools that he was sleeping on. He's opened his bed, he's opened the box, and the tools are there. And he said, okay, well, and what brings us to the way? What brings us to this work? We just get so tired and weary, don't we? We get tired and weary of pretending, of not really being at home in ourselves, at peace. So finally John decides, okay, he's going to dig the foundation. He's going to dig a foundation. The way is, he wants to dig this big square hole. He's got the goal. And what he does is he sticks the shovel in the ground. The way is here and now. There's no hole. He's got to start with one shovel. He starts with one shovel, takes it over and makes a pile. So he's digging the foundation. Very, very shortly in the digging, he comes across these little gems in the dirt. He's digging and he finds this little diamond, little emerald, a little ruby. Beautiful. And he's like, wow. And he gathers a few of them and he takes them to the store and he cashes them in and he's got this bunch of money and he starts to buy some supplies that he's wanted to make his home. And he's excited. And now he starts to think, geez, I have money now. I have what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these bunch of guys over here to dig for me. I'm going to have some lemonade and watch them do it. So he gets a couple more, digs some more, gets some jewels, gets some money, and he tells his people, okay, go dig. And by the way, as he's digging, there's dirt. There's also all this kind of like sludge and contamination and disgusting things that are there that have been put there from just generations of neglect and people throwing their stuff into the earth and not taking care. So it's kind of disgusting what he's got to dig up here to make the foundation, to make the hole in the ground that will support the structure that will be above ground, where he will live, his home. He wants to build a home. He's now motivated. He's now on the path. But he strays off a little bit because he gets lazy. So he's going to hire people to dig for him now. And yeah, sure, they give him some money. And the people come and they dig. Very quickly, when they find the jewels, they start to hide them. They start to steal them. They put them away. They don't tell John they found them. And they get lazy too because they're cashing in the jewels and making money that way. And they kind of throw their own garbage there. And John pretty quickly realizes that these people, well, first of all, Peter and Alice tell him, they say, you've got to dig this hole yourself. Me and Alice dug the hole here, dug the foundation for this home you see there. We went into that and we spent years and days and months and minutes and hours and whatever it is we took till it was proper. And we did that. And John says, I thought you said I had to do it myself. And they say, we did do it ourselves. I built mine, says Peter. I built mine, says Alice. And once we knew how to build our own houses, then, only then, could we build a strong home together. Build our own home separate, two separate, independent, powerful, stable, peaceful, true human beings come together. They can build a true, honest, stable, otherwise forget it. So John's being told to do it himself. He tries the lazy way. He sees that the lazy way, they're just taking the stuff. They're actually making it worse. They're stomping the earth down. They're making more pollution. He says, okay. And he does the work himself. And it's raining and it's cold and he's sore and he's got, all kinds of injuries and he's getting stronger, but he is digging the foundation. He digs the foundation over the time that it takes. And when he complains, he realizes that it slows him down. When he pretends that it's lies to himself, it slows the process down. With the coaching of his true neighbors, Peter and Alice, he realizes this is my truth now. I must dig this dirt, this sludge, this pollution. I must clean out this hole, which is the foundation. Peter says, Alice says, the hole is there. You must simply take what's clogging it, what's filling it, what's blocking it out. And that's what John does. John digs and digs and digs with the calluses. With first there's blood, then the calluses come. First there's soreness, then the muscles grow. And as he goes on, he starts to feel the joy of accomplishment, of independence, of actually doing something for himself for the first time in his life that's difficult, that doesn't have an immediate gratification. And he digs that foundation, and he creates that foundation, and he takes the jewels that he's discovered, and what he does is he builds his home on that solid foundation with the coaching of Peter and Alice next door who've done it, who were coached by others who had done it. And he builds his home. And when he has his home constructed on a solid foundation after however many months and years of difficulty and a lot of pain and a lot of disgustingness that he had to reveal and go through, he has constructed a place where he is at home. He's not pretending anymore. The storms come, the stresses come, the people come trying to sell him things. He doesn't need anything from them. He is independent. He has built his home. Peter's home. John is home. And that's the story of John's home. He had to build the foundation himself. He had to build the home himself. No one will do it for him. Everyone will promise to do it for him, but they're taking advantage of him. They want something from him. People might help, like Alice and Peter, but they can't do it. Each of us has to build our own home. And what is home? It's simply one of the facets of the diamond. If you've built your home, it will be a state of love and compassion and stability and truth above circumstances. The weather comes, the snow, the storms. Home, safe at home. With the creativity and the beauty and the ease that means, which we don't really experience that often in our lives, to be honest about it, and which we crave. So to build the home is the way. To build the love is also the way. But we're talking about the home now. A home. We're talking about home. Home. So that's the story of John building his home. And that's your story. That's my story. That is the story of how we do what it is we need to do to be with truth. This cat is creating a lot of hair. So we're going to do some meditation. And what we're going to do, my friend told me, gave me some coaching on meditation. She's watching now. Thank you. I'm going to try to follow a little bit of her coaching in terms of the meditation. But what it is that we're going to do is we're going to experience both the goal and the now. So the now is honesty is so important. If we pretend that everything is fine when it's not, there's no hope. That's just one more form of feeding the dysfunction. It's a lie. There are things that are okay, and underneath everything we are okay, but the state of experience is full of yin and yang, full of up and down, full of yes and no. And not to say that those things won't happen, but no, we don't have that stability of home that we're building now. We're moving towards it. So to be honest, what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 or 3 things that cause us nothing that destroys us. Now we're adults here. And because we're doing this through the internet and we're not in the same room, we have to be responsible for ourselves in somewhat different ways. I mean, we're responsible for each other, yes. But if something happens, if someone is feeling a sense of overwhelm, it's very hard to help that person in this kind of distance. So we have to gauge ourselves and make sure that we work within the context of where we're safe, which means don't pick things that are going to put us into overwhelm, meaning too much for us to handle. when we're by ourselves, we're not by ourselves, but when we're physically in different locations. Physically in the same location is a lot easier to respond to these things. So pick 2 or 3 things that cause us anxiety or worry or fear. Not overwhelmed things, but things that, okay, 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 things. Okay. Pick 3 things. You know what they are. Don't spend a lot of time. You know what they are. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 boxes by our feet. One box says later, and one box says soon. Now the box that says later, everything that's not these 3 things that comes to us in this meditation, we're going to put in the box called later. That just means we honor these thoughts and feelings, but it's not time for them now. Later means in half an hour or tomorrow or whenever that is. That's when we'll allow these things. And we're not going to fight with them. We just put them gently, so gently in the box called later. The box called soon is going to be for these things that we're talking about. What we're going to do is we're going to get still first. Now, stillness is the foundation. I don't know if we all heard the story about John building his home, but he had to build a foundation to make it a real home. And the foundation of a true home is stillness, because the foundation of your being, of my being, is stillness. And in a noisy world, we don't know that. That's why we never feel at home in the noise, even though we seek more noise, because we're afraid of the stillness, because we think that stillness is going to destroy us. Stillness will destroy the noise, but we don't know, unless we know stillness, that no noise is such an amazing, beautiful state. And it's the state we crave. It's home. So we're going to create some stillness, and then we're going to bring these 2 or 3 things that we've chosen that make us worried or anxious into the stillness. And we're going to feel those things. We're going to allow them to be. We're not going to deny them. We're going to experience them for real. And once we finish feeling them for a little bit, we're going to take them and put them in the box called soon. And then we're going to feel the stillness with nothing, the full stillness. So the first stillness is just still enough so that we can isolate these 2 or 3 things to feel them and to be with them. Then we're going to put those things in the box called soon, ever so gently. If they come back, we put them back in the box called soon. The other thoughts and feelings in the box called later, gently, by our feet, gently. Doesn't mean we're denying them. We're just saying, not at this moment. Gently, gently. No struggle, no fighting, no arguing. And then we're going to experience the stillness without those 2 or 3 things and without all the other things we put in the box called later. And we're going to see what it is that is the truth of digging the foundation, which is the experience of these things, the conscious experience, the conscious letting go, which is the goal of the way. Okay? So first, let's take 3 deep breaths. Ready? 1, in through your nose, slow out through your mouth. Breathing in from just above your genitals, from the bottom of your stomach, bottom of your diaphragm. Filling everything gently out through the mouth, reverse, emptying everything gently and slowly. Filling from the bottom of your cavity. Relaxing with the out-breath, relaxing with the out-breath. Let it all go. Now, whatever it is that doesn't belong, we put in the box called later. Feelings and thoughts. Now, there should be a certain amount of just spaciousness. You can just feel the spaciousness just from the sound of the voice that you're hearing. I can hear it. I can feel it. The voice is just creating spaciousness. And in that space, there are those 2 or 3 things that we chose. Yeah, it's a little bit scary, But bring them in, because what we really want is we want to expand that space and that stillness. But bring those 2 or 3 things in. Feel them. You're going to feel it in your body. Watch the thoughts it generates. Anxiety about the future, worry about the future, fear. Something that's not right, that you want different. Feel it. Acknowledge it. It's true. This is the truth of what you're feeling. Let it be. Don't argue with it. Don't fight it. Don't suppress it. It should feel uncomfortable. And that's okay. Okay. Now take the first one and so gently put it in the box called soon, which means this is not for now, this is for soon or for later. You can put it in the box called later if you want. In fact, we don't need any soon box. Put it in the box called later. Forget the box called soon. Later. Take the second of these feelings and thoughts and put it in the box called later. Take the third of these thoughts and feelings and put it in the box called later. Now it's still there. You can feel it and think about it. It's still there. But just let it drain gently into that box. Now the voice right now is just opening the space. The voice is opening the space. The voice is space. There is light in the voice. The interesting thing about sound is that sound is light. And light is vibration. Everything is vibration. Everything is sound. And everything is light. So we've just let these things go gently into the box called later. Let everything, all thoughts and feelings, gently flow into the box called later. And if they come back or anything floats through your experience, through your awareness, put it in the box called later so gently, respectfully. And feel this light in the center of your chest. Feel this light in the center of your throat. Feel this light in the center of your forehead. Feel this light in the center of your stomach. Feel this light in the center, underneath your belly button. Feel this light in your genital region. Feel this light at the crown of your head. Feel that everything that's inside your skin is bursting with light. Every cell that makes up your body. Every cell is bursting with light, from your toenail to the end of the hair on the top of your head, and everything in between, from the fingernail in your right hand to the fingernails in your left hand, from the front of your chest to your back, from your stomach to your lower spine in the back, from your right buttock to your left buttock, from your right knee to everything. Your skin is bursting with light. And space. And let that light and space expand. There's an egg-shaped space around you, 1 meter, 3 feet, 4 feet around you, all around you, filled with this light. It dissolves your skin. You're no longer bound by your skin. Space and light and openness. And just a voice coming from nowhere and coming from everywhere. This is my voice. What is my name? This is just the voice. It's not a personal voice. It belongs to me. Who am I? Fill in the blank. My name is John, Peter, Alice, Joan, Patricia. Doesn't matter. My name is my name. And then my name is all names. I'm no longer bound by this skin bag. I am now this egg, and the egg expands. Let that light and that spaciousness expand. Open your arms if you feel it. Just feel the open expanse. Open your chest. Feel the light. Feel the space. Feel it fill all the space of the room that you're in. All the space of the house, the apartment that you're in. All the space of the city, the town, the country that you're in. All the space that there is on this entire planet is just one big light. There's just awareness. I am awareness without limit. And it needn't have the limit of this earth. It just goes. It encompasses the solar system. It encompasses the galaxy. It encompasses all galaxies. It encompasses that which is and which is not. There is only consciousness. It is only space and consciousness. This is home. I am home. I am space. I am beauty. I am pure creation. I am the state of love, which is all creation. I am home because there is no limit to who and what I am. I am pure, unfiltered consciousness, awareness. Maybe we did want those three things in the box called soon. Let's bring those two or three things back into this infinite space. Those three things are so small we can't even see them. They're not even specks. They're not even dust in a universe. They're nothing. Why were these things consuming us? Why did we believe they were so important? Why did they cause all these feelings and thoughts that we don't like and drag us away from this which is our home? They're specks, they're nothing. Put them back in the box. There's no box, there's nothing. It's just insignificant. There's only space and light and freedom and belonging. Oh, I belong here. I'm home. You hear that sound? That's the sound of silence. You can hear it. And we give thanks for being this, for being one home. This is one home that we share. This is it. This is I. I am. We am. You am. I are. You are. We are. So many words that don't mean anything. There just is this experience, this shared experience of being home. Okay, let's bring our consciousness back. Slowly, the space shrinks. Slowly it shrinks, the galaxy, the solar system. The house, the apartment, the room, the egg. Let's bring all of this consciousness back to the egg, around the individual, seemingly separated self. Now back to paradox. Back to the sense of self, the sense of embodied self, incarnate. Carne is meat. Carnal means body. Carne is meat in Spanish. Back to the body, the meat bag, this skin bag. Back to this. And feel that light filling the skin. And this is the boundaries of our physical self. And we are in the body for a reason. If we weren't embodied, we'd be something else. But we are embodied. So we bring our consciousness back to our bodies. I am in my body. I am individuated, separate on a physical level, and yet my home still remains that connected space. I can have a consciousness of that, but I must also make sure that I bring my living daily experience, it's a paradox, to this embodied individual self. Feel the connection to the earth. Your sit bones, your feet, whatever it is closest, touching the floor, touching the earth, that connected to the earth. with roots, with actual roots. It's actually connected in a true physical, energetic way, like two magnets are connected. Gravity pulls the center of you to the center of the earth because you are a physical being. I am a physical being. And now we are in our bodies and we claim this. This is who we are. I am a separate body, and yet I'm not. But we need to be in the body to do our work on earth. We're embodied for a reason. And we all have a mission in the body to carry out on this earth. And the mission is to be and bring light, to be and bring home, to be and bring compassion. So we're in the body. If anybody's not feeling embodied, you can open your eyes. Sometimes that helps a little bit of this stuff here to get ourselves back to the body. Okay. So the paradox of being embodied and yet connected on an energetic and deeper level, the level of stillness to everybody and everything. This is the paradox of life on earth. And the focus on the body is in the service of stillness, or stillness is being avoided in the service of the body. You can only go up or down. If stillness is being sacrificed to the body, you're not happy. You're not home. You're worried, you're anxious, you're suffering. If the body is being used in the service of stillness, which is the grand connection, we're building the foundation of our homes. We are creating the home that, and any home that is real, everybody's in that home. There's no separation. Yet, on this level, I am responsible for creating adults responsible for ourselves. John didn't have any success building the foundation that he needed and then in the home that he needed to be home when he was depending on looking for someone else to do it. Another organization, a religion, a political organization, a group, a lover, a friend, an enemy, a hatred, whatever it is. These things are not going to give us the home. These are not it. We have to do it ourselves, which means these tools that we work on together every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, every Sunday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. These tools that we work on together, these methods, these things, these aren't the only ways, but we take them and if we don't have a meditation practice, meditation is again, it's the way, which is, one is the goal, which is having that peace in that space. Two, not the second, it's just two. It could be the first. They both happen different times when it's appropriate. One is the goal and the peace and the relaxation and the ease. The goal, the light in the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. The other part of meditation is the digging of the foundation, the feeling of these three things that we just did in our meditation. Two things. The being honest with them. The way that we work with them, briefly. To be honest, to admit that it's there, courageous and see it. Don't lie. It is there. I feel anxious about this. Here is the feeling. It is there. Be courageous. Number two, surrender. Again, courageous. Surrender means I don't explain it. I don't fight it. I don't lie about it. I don't pretend. I don't push it down. I don't distract myself. Sometimes I do, but when I'm doing the meditation, when I'm doing the work, I am with it like an adult, like a man or a woman. I stand there in the storm and I say, this is what is necessary to dig my foundation. This is the truth of the tunnel that I am in. And it is dark and it feels terrible. Honest about it. Surrender to it. If one can be grateful, wow, that's an amazing number three. If not, don't lie about it. Don't say, I feel so grateful when you don't. But at times, as it moves on, you will be grateful. You'll say, bring it on. This is the foundation. This is how we move through the tunnel. How we use now to move forward. And four, ask for help. Ask your higher self, ask God, ask the Holy Spirit, ask nature. I don't care what you call it. It's there. Ask it. In humility. It's the first of the 12-step programs. There's a power greater than I can't do it myself. There's a power greater than myself. Without that, those things don't work. 12-step programs, wonderful things like, but again, they can help you, but they will not build the house for you. I don't want to discourage anybody. Maybe not my place to talk about that right now. Responsibility for doing and being with these practices. If we don't have a meditation practice, we create one tomorrow, tonight in fact. Before I go to bed, I will spend 30 seconds. That's all it takes. I have 30 seconds. And as I was speaking to someone, sharing with someone a couple days ago, she was saying she didn't have a meditation practice and that her mind was very scattered. And when I don't want to exercise, I need to exercise more than ever. I'm lazy, I'm lethargic. Well, that means I really need to move. If I don't want to meditate and I can't meditate, that means I really need to more than ever, because that's how the non-meditative parasite that lives here, the busy, anxious non-home, keeps me from being free. Oh, I can't do it. No. I can do anything I set my mind to with the help of my greater self and the humility and the honesty we just spoke about and the surrender and the gratitude. 30 seconds, I have 30 seconds. And that doesn't mean I'm going to have success. It just means I'm going to spend 30 seconds being still. No phone, no kids, no dog, nothing. Just before I go to bed, if possible, it's the best time, right before bed, right before sleep. 30 seconds of stillness. And we can put things in the box call later if we want, if that's one tool we can use. We can, at the beginning of meditations, probably just try to be still. And just see what thoughts are there and gently put them in the box call later. 30 seconds. It will grow to a minute, it will grow to 2 minutes, because you'll see how amazingly powerful it is. In 6 months, your life will change. Guaranteed. It's just, as we started speaking at the beginning of this, the way, natural law. Natural law says we find stillness to find home, love, peace, compassion, and so forth. Stillness. We are adults. We are responsible. Natural law says we must work on stillness because we live in a world of noise, conditioned noise. Strip away the noise. Find the stillness. Be responsible for the self. No one else will do it for me. 30 seconds is nothing. Before I sleep, 30 seconds of stillness. And if I'm not successful, it doesn't matter. At least I chose to do 30 seconds. I did the 30 seconds. And tomorrow, maybe I'll have a little bit of stillness. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe in 3 months. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe yesterday. It will happen. And then when I wake, first thing, 30 seconds. If I can sit up, that's fine. But if there's someone in bed next to me, or there's some reason I can't do it, or whatever it is, just lie down. You'll find a way to do it. Keep your eyes closed if someone's going to be saying, "What are you doing, honey?" There's a way to do it. Just 30 seconds of stillness. What we're doing is, it's like bookends. Your whole waking day is a bunch of books, words, blah, 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 thoughts. The first thing when you wake up, consciousness, and before you go to sleep, lose consciousness. Not lose consciousness, but sleep. Waking consciousness, the bookends. Stillness and stillness. Powerful. And as you start doing that, you will do it more and more. And you'll start doing it through the day. And it will, 6 months, your life will change. And you will never go back. So, the way. Stillness. The I that is hearing this, all of the words and the voice that are entering my ears right now, and I'm speaking for me. Who am I? I am the listener. Who am I? I am the speaker. The truth of this experience is that There is no guy talking to some gal, talking to some guy, talking to some gal, talking to some guy. There is simply one heart speaking to many ears that are surrounding that heart. This is coming from my heart. Who am I? I am the listener. I am responsible. I am the adult. I am fully beautiful and capable. We just experienced the beauty and the peace and the space. Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, whatever you want to call that. Higher self, universe, God, love, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. I don't care what we call it. Thank you. Thank me. Thank it. Thank us. And this voice is coming from my heart. What is my name? Well, you tell me. I'll tell you. We'll tell ourselves. Break down the walls of this separate identification that keeps us alone, separate, not at home. I am the voice of God. I am the ears of God. I am one of nature, of natural law, of universal truth. I thank myself. I thank you. I thank every part of this experience. Oh. So we'll get together again on Wednesday. Again, any suggestions, any need for guidance, any need for whatever it is, post here. We can talk personally, privately, message or however it is we need to communicate in a less broad way. And any suggestions or ideas for the future, maybe we'll play music in one of the next couple sessions. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you. See you soon.